Adonis Creed is back. This time not only fighting demons from the past, but a childhood mentor. And this chiseled ex-con is after the title. Rocky can't help this time because he's in Tulsa. Looks like baby Creed is on his own with this one, not only in the ring, but behind the camera in Creed 3. Hello there, you loose units, and welcome back to another episode of Spicy Boy Reviews. I'm, of course, your host, Andrew Iles. That's right, Creed number 3, directed by star and actor Michael B. Jordan, with his feature film debut. This time he's taking a leaf out of Sly's book and getting behind the camera for his franchise. Keenan and Ryan Coogler did, however, help with producing and writing on this one. We open the film in Los Angeles 15 years prior, with adolescent's baby Creed going to an underground boxing match with his badass best friend Damien. And Damien is the next big thing in boxing. Let's see how this plays out. Damien, of course, wins because he's the next best thing in boxing, and the pair of them end up at a liquor store, where Adonis meets a shady character from his past. And because it's Los Angeles, Adonis Creed starts beating on the old man for reasons. So, pretty much like modern-day Los Angeles. Then we cut to present day. Creed is having his retirement match with his first opponent from the first Creed film, Ricky Conlon. The match goes how you would expect it would to go, and then Creed retires. We then get to see the daily life of Creed in his retirement. He has since become a promoter for boxing matches, as well as owning his own boxing gym where they train the current world title holder, which turns out to be how Tekashi 6ix9ine wishes he was. Wifey Poos is now a producer, stepping behind the scenes here because her hearing is not so great, keeping continuity in line with the other Creed films. And their daughter Amara is somewhat grown up, and she's attending a school for the deaf. Creed is promoting the biggest fight of the year. Thug version of Tekashi 6ix9ine versus his old foe, Victor Drago. But don't get a boner just yet. Unfortunately, Ivan doesn't rock up, or Rocky either. But a spanner is thrown in the works when Creed's childhood friend Damien gets out of prison. And he begins to hang around Creed's gym, sparring with the current world champion. Damien has the chippiest bags of chips on his shoulders here, and he's looking for some dip. He spent 18 years in prison, watching Adonis Creed, his best friend, have the life that Damien wanted for himself. And we find out that Damien went to prison defending baby Creed. And we find out that Creed washed his hands of Damien once he went to prison, going after a better life. Ouch. This is the great part of the movie. We both have motivation for each character here. And you can see both sides. So you can see the angle of Creed and Damien here. See? Characters. Are you taking notes, Marvel? Of course, there's some ex-con fuckery at play going on here. Drago gets injured and can't compete in the match. Then Creed puts his savvy big boy thinking pants on and becomes promoter Don Kang, promoting an underdog match versus the champion. This sounds familiar. Damien ends up getting what he wants, having a title match with Thug version of Tekashi 6ix9ine. And the match goes pretty much how you would expect it to. Now that Damien has got what he feels was owed to him, he throws Creed under the bus, talking smack to the public, calling Creed a sellout. Then the film goes pretty much how you would expect. We have the obligatory epic montage here that will make blood go to your scrotum. And it all leads to an epic title fight against childhood friends. And it goes pretty much how you would expect. The fighting, though, however, is magnificent and pretty visceral. Both actors, Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan, do a really good job. You can tell that they obviously trained hard for this role. And personally, I bought them as fighters. They had good character, motivation, and those sweet, sweet stakes! I was indeed invested from start to finish. It's more of a drama, this film, like sort of an echo back to the first Creed film, and leaving that boring second installment to be forgotten, and I forgot what I was even talking about. I will say, though, that it was quite obvious that the majority of the audience were CGI. However, in its defense, they were set in, like, baseball arenas, so it's quite expensive to fill one of those fuckers up with actual audience members for days on end. But just the nitpick, it did look quite CGI and quite fake at times. And like I said before, I like the characters here. I understood their motivation, and yeah, you could see both sides, really. It's a much more simple stream storyline here. Get just basics, and rightfully so. Unfortunately, as aforementioned, there is no Rocky in this film this time around. But the film was still okay. Michael B. Jordan did a great job directing this. He's, yeah, great behind the camera. And yeah, as mentioned before, the fighting was visceral. It was quite good, real and believable, just albeit too brief. However, I will say you probably need a helmet with how heavy-handed the film does get at one point with its artsy fight sequence. Right at the end, it gets very cerebral during a chunk that has to do a bit of a time jump between round 2 and round 12. It becomes a bit of a CGI bukkake party coming across as a bit of a music video. And the metaphor was so heavy-handed. But it was good though. The film was fine. It was fine. It was okay. Nothing amazing. I still think the Rocky films are better. But it was good. It was a simple story. You bought the characters. You understood their motivation. Yeah, an actual film. Anyway, guys, that's my review of Creed 3. I liked it much better than the last installment. Probably on par with the first one. Write down below if you've seen it, though. If you haven't, if you're excited about it. And what's your favourite Creed installment? And, of course, if you've made it this far into the episode, please give me a thumbs up. Because your love and support keeps me going. Because I just love movies. And I assume you do as well. And, of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe icon. Because I give it episodes weekly. And I'll see you back here next week for the next review, and until then, stay spooky, kids.